everybody, and welcome back to the WrestleDude YouTube channel. And this is that time again. It is time for my NXT Takeover predictions. This time, it's for NXT Takeover Portland, which is actually going to be on its own weekend this week. Normally, these types of takeover events are paired with one of the big pay-per-views in WWE, some of them being Royal Rumbles, some of them being WrestleMania, or Survivor Series, or SummerSlam. This time, it stands on its own, which is going to be very exciting. Now, NXT Takeover Portland doesn't sound like a big name, but just like in the logos, you better keep a sharp eye out for this big match card. So, I'm going to give my predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below for the show, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Show some love for the channel. But with that being said, let's get into the predictions. Alright, so first up we have Dakota Kai taking on Tegan Knox in a street fight. This is seemingly the blow-off to their whole feud. Now, we've already had a one-on-one matchup between these two on NXT TV, and it ended with Tegan Knox getting the win by using the knee brace as a weapon and then pinning Dakota Kai, which sent us into this street fight matchup. Now, I don't know if this is really a rivalry they want to continue. If they are going to continue it, I would say Dakota Kai has to come out with the win here. But honestly, I feel like this is kind of a rivalry that's just going to end after this matchup is over. So, in a way to end it there, I would definitely say Tegan Knox comes out with the win here. They're starting to release videos on the PC channel about like Tegan Knox's comeback and all that jazz. So I would really suspect that they are going to have Tegan Knox come out with the win here, and that sets up Tegan Knox as the next opponent for Rhea Ripley, who I believe is going to be facing Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Kind of a spoiler for my later predictions, but I'll explain it a little bit more there. But yeah, other than that, I would say Tegan Knox comes out with the win here, but I would definitely say this is going to be a brutal matchup. Alright, next up we have Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic for the NXT North American Championship. I'm really excited for this matchup to be for a championship. You know, that's kind of something that everybody's been saying, is that all this rivalry needs is to have the North American Championship or the NXT Championship just to make it feel that much bigger. Really, all of the matchups that we've seen between Keith Lee and Dijakovic have been on NXT TV. Like, it's great to hear the Full Sail crowd to be cheering on these two big guys, but I feel like it's going to be that much more exciting when we see all the great stuff that they can do in front of an NXT TakeOver audience. You got tons of people from tons of different walks of life going to a TakeOver event, lots of different reactions. Although I feel like once we get to this matchup, a lot of people are going to have the same reactions, which are going to be, holy S-word, holy crap, what the heck, these guys are crazy, these guys are awesome. In terms of who's going to come out with the win here, I feel like it's a little bit too early for Keith Lee to lose the championship here. I feel like Keith Lee's going to come out with the win here, but it does beg the question, who are some of his next challengers going to be? We've seen Damian Priest get involved. We've seen Killian Dane get involved in the title scene. There's a lot of big guys in there. Killer Kross is coming to WWE. He might show up on NXT TV. All in all, I feel like this is going to be a big match, but I feel like Keith Lee is going to come out with the win and retain the North American Championship. Alright, next up we have the Broserweights versus the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team titles. Now, the Broserweights, winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, gave themselves a championship match against the Undisputed Era at this show. I feel like this is kind of where the whole Undisputed Era, Golden Era, is going to crumble. We already had Roderick Strong losing the North American Championship to Keith Lee. Now, I feel like the next two steps are going to happen at this show, also spoiling my predictions for later, but oh well. I feel like the Broserweights are going to win the tag team titles here. I feel like this is definitely going to help Matt Riddle, and it's definitely going to help Pete Dunne. I feel like ever since coming to NXT, Pete Dunne has kind of just been sort of a guy kind of floundering around looking for something big to sink his teeth into. I feel like winning the NXT Tag Team titles with Matt Riddle is going to give him something big to do. There are a lot of great matches, and really, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne have really gelled together as a team really well. And yeah, I feel like the Undisputed Era, they've done really good with the tag team titles every time that they've had them, but I feel like it's time for that Undisputed Prophecy to kind of start crumbling back down. And I feel like Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle are a great team to win the championships here, and then who knows, maybe later on down the line, Pete Dunne gets tired of Matt Riddle, turns on Matt Riddle, they lose the tag team titles at some point, and then they can move on into a separate feud between themselves. But for here, I am picking the Broserweights to come out as your new NXT Tag Team Champions. Alright, next up we have Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship. I kind of spoiled what my prediction was going to be earlier. I am predicting that Rhea Ripley is going to come out with the win here. It seems that they're setting up to have Charlotte challenge Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. That's going to be incredible. I feel like the way that they've done that has kind of made people not really care about this match because it's more about Rhea Ripley retaining and then facing Charlotte rather than if Bianca Belair can win and then face Rhea Ripley. But I did say earlier in the video that I feel like Tegan Knox is going to be the next challenger against Rhea Ripley. So I feel like Rhea Ripley is going to retain against Charlotte Flair, and then after that, she's going to enter a program with Tegan Knox for the NXT Women's Championship. If you remember, there's a lot of history between Rhea Ripley and Tegan Knox. I feel like Rhea Ripley is going to have some big character change of like a heel turn. They're going to have like a matchup on NXT TV for the Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley is going to cheat to win, maybe exploit like attacking the knee of Tegan Knox or something like that. Go heel, and then they're going to have a huge rivalry against each other with the bitter hatred of one another. Tegan Knox hating that Rhea Ripley sort of caused that injury, and then Rhea Ripley is going to be the big heel talking about how much she made fun of Tegan Knox for getting injured. So that's going to be a big rivalry heading forward after WrestleMania. But in terms of this matchup here, I am predicting that Rhea Ripley retains the NXT Women's Championship. Alright, next up we have Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor. This is going to be a blood feud matchup. A matchup that we were actually supposed to have at NXT Takeover War Games, but it got delayed considering Johnny Gargano's injury at the time. And now we're back on track. Now we're getting this one-on-one matchup. And this has the makings to be match of the night for me. There are two matches here, this and the main event, that I feel like could be match of the night quality here. I feel like this is going to be one hell of a match. Definitely Johnny Gargano never disappoints at a TakeOver event. I feel like this isn't going to be any different. In terms of who wins, I feel like this is Johnny Gargano's time to win. Finn Balor's been doing great stuff as a bad guy, but I feel like one of the reasons why they brought him back to NXT was to start putting over some new talent and some fresh matchups in big-time matchups and not just some like 5-minute blow-off matchups on Raw. So I feel like Johnny Gargano is going to beat Finn Balor, and then who knows, maybe after this we'll see Finn Balor go back to Raw. Maybe he'll feud with AJ Styles over who's the real leader of the club, or the OC, whatever they call it, California. And finally we have Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship in the main event. Like I said, this feels like it's going to be another huge matchup on this card. In terms of who's going to win, like I said earlier, I feel like this is kind of the show where the whole golden prophecy, the Undisputed Era, is going to come falling down. I feel like it ends here with Adam Cole losing the NXT Championship to Tommaso Ciampa. Ever since Ciampa came back, he's kind of had this storyline of trying to get back the NXT Championship after his big injury, and he's become a big good guy all of a sudden because of it. That's kind of the one thing that I've kind of hated about Tommaso Ciampa's return is like, before he left, he was still a really bad guy, and then all of a sudden, just because he got hurt, people are supposed to like him now. I feel like once he wins the NXT Championship here, I feel like he should start being a bad guy again, maybe get back into that feud with Johnny Gargano. I am predicting that Tommaso Ciampa wins here, and, you know, hopefully somewhere down the line we get some big feuds between Tommaso Ciampa and Velveteen Dream again, and Gargano again, and maybe even Balor again. Who knows? I'm excited for this matchup, and I'm excited for this whole card. I'm predicting that Tommaso Ciampa walks out with Goldie. So there you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for NXT TakeOver Portland. Let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. I will see you guys later for the review. Thank you for watching. See you later.